Here's what I want to do differently today, though. Before I tell you where to go, I'm going to tell you where not to go. Places that used to be on every single list for expats are not the same anymore. And the first one was the first place that I went to personally to check it out, Portugal. Portugal was the darling of the expat community for almost a decade. It deserved that reputation too. But two things happened that changed that. First, the NHR tax regime. Portugal's famous 10-year favorable tax program for retirees ended for new applicants on January 1st, 2024. The replacement program doesn't really apply to most retirees. So foreign pensions are now taxed at standard Portuguese rates, which can go up to 48%. That tax advantage was the core of Portugal's financial appeal, and it's gone. Second, housing costs have surged sharply, especially in Lisbon and Algarve. And the visa process through Portugal's immigration system, wait times can be 12 to 24 months. And they ended the Golden Visa program, which was one of the programs that allowed you to buy property and then become a resident. So Portugal really isn't a retirement option anymore. Next, Bali. Bali was a paradise. Social media fell in love with it. So when Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, an estimated 60,000 Russians and Ukrainians relocated to Bali in a very short time period. And also it became so popular on social media that everybody went there. Traffic is a nightmare. Costs have climbed sharply as landlords cater to the short-term digital nomads rather than the long-term retirees. And there's also concerns around Indonesia's morality laws, which can affect how unmarried couples live day to day. So Bali has moved from a hidden gem to cautionary tale. Next, Costa Rica. For decades, Costa Rica was called the affordable Hawaii. That era is officially over. The Costa Rican colon has appreciated so strongly against the US dollar that locals have nicknamed it the super colon. A simple lunch in a tourist town now rivals prices in Miami and Los Angeles. And popular expat hotspots have tripled the rents in some neighborhoods. Many of the old retiree tax incentives have been stripped away. One retirement research organization estimates that close to 60% of the Americans who try to retire in Costa Rica end up coming home. The infrastructure, roads, water reliability still feels developing while prices no longer do. So that's a tough combination to live with. And then the last one is Barcelona, Spain. Spain has become one of the most politically hostile environments for foreign expats in Europe, and it happened fast. Residents have taken to the streets about housing costs and vacation rentals. I read that Barcelona is not allowing 10,000 Airbnbs to be listed next year. What was once budget friendly now starts at $2,500 to $3,000 a month. Personally, I have priced Airbnbs in certain cities in Spain, and they're $3,000 or more per month now. Spain is still a beautiful country, but it no longer makes the value case for retirees living on Social Security. Okay, now you know what not to do, but here's where the real opportunity in 2026 is. This is the way I grouped them. I figured these are the most important things for retirees. They're judged on cost of living, healthcare quality and cost, expat community size, how widely English is spoken, and then flight time from the United States. If this information has been helpful, hit that subscribe button. I not only talk about Social Security abroad, I talk about Medicare, Social Security, and senior safety. So everything applicable to our age group. The Americas have some of the most proven, well-established retirement destinations in the world. Number one, Panama. And I have personally spent 5 months in Panama City. And if you want more detail about Panama, I actually did a whole video about it. So Panama sits at number one on International Living's Global Retirement Index. And this has been for many years. And in 2026, it still earns that top spot. So the real draw to Panama is a pensionado visa, which just requires $1,000 a month in pension income and Social Security qualifies. And once you're approved, you receive legally mandated discounts across the entire country. The economy runs entirely on the US dollar. English is widely spoken, and there's first world private hospitals in Panama City. Now, most people say you can budget around $1,800 to $2,400 a month for a comfortable couple, but in my experience, it was more like $2,500 and higher, especially if you want to have food that you're accustomed to and have more comforts. But you could live for $1,800, and you are just 3 to 4 hours from Miami. So Panama is a real option for retirees. Number 2, Medellin, Colombia, and I spent time there as well. And Medellin keeps climbing up the ranks of places to retire. Now, a comfortable couple's lifestyle runs $1,500 to $2,000 a month. And these are in pretty popular areas like El Poblado and Laureles. Private healthcare is modern, and there's plenty of English-speaking doctors. A general practitioner visit might run $15 to $40, and I've personally priced colonoscopies. They were $300. And to get a deep cleaning, that's much more extensive for teeth that have recession issues. In the United States, it's probably $1,800. And in Medellin, it was $400 or less. So the prices are much, much cheaper, and the quality is really good. And the climate earns its nickname, the City of Eternal Spring. And I can tell you, it is basically 70, 75 degrees, sunny every day. Rains occasionally. The expat community has grown, and I met plenty of people who spoke English there. Their pensionado program is pretty straightforward, and you could definitely live on $2,000 a month, Social Security. So Medellin is a real contender. All right, and number 3, Mexico, Mérida and Yucatan. So these two areas are consistently ranked the safest area in all of Central and South America. It sits far from the cartel territory. It has a large and rapidly growing expat community and world-class food, culture, and architecture. Cost of living for a couple, $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Private healthcare, affordable, good. English is widely spoken in the expat circles. And the U.S.-Mexico tax treaty protects your Social Security from Mexican taxes. And you're just about 2 to 3 hours from Houston or Miami. And one final comment about Mexico, they have recently upped the income requirements to become a temporary or a permanent resident. But if you don't qualify, you can still stay in Mexico for 6 months at a time with a U.S. passport. Okay, group 2, Europe and nearby. So this is kind of mid-range distance. This is 8 to 12 hours from the U.S., and this is the group that has changed most dramatically over the last several years. So number 1 is Greece, Crete, and Athens. Greece was crowned the number 1 retirement destination in the entire world in 2026. The cost of living is 40 to 50% lower than the U.S. A retired couple can live comfortably $1,800 to $2,500 a month. In Crete, Americans are buying 2-bedroom houses for about $150,000. There's over 300 days of sunshine per year. You can live on the Mediterranean diet, which everybody brags about. So here's the financial headline. Greece offers a 7% tax rate on all foreign source pension income for up to 15 years. This essentially replaced Portugal's program, and Greece seems to be doing it better. Number 2, Albania. Albania is kind of the sleeper pick of this entire video. It's one of the cheapest places in all Europe. A comfortable retirement on the coast runs about $1,000 to $1,500 a month. If you own an apartment, which you can buy for $50,000 to $80,000, your monthly costs go down even more. And I have read that they have the most beautiful beaches in the entire world. And there's 2 major financial advantages for retirees. First, foreign pension income is generally tax exempt with the proper residency permit. Second, U.S. citizens get a full 1 year, 365 days, visa-free entry. And this was one of the reasons I wanted to go. You could stay for a year without a visa. And to obtain the formal retiree residency permit, you just need to demonstrate about $1,000 a month in pension income, which Social Security covers for most people. Now, I will say there's a healthcare caveat. Public hospitals are underfunded outside of the capital, and most expats use private clinics where a doctor's visit costs about $30 to $65. And so for complex procedures, many expats travel to Greece or Italy to get their care done. So the expat community is small, but it's growing fast because Albania is becoming more and more popular with retirees. And the last one in this category, Montenegro. And this is kind of new on the list. So picture the Croatian Adriatic coastline, but without the crowds, without the Croatian prices, medieval walled cities, mountain scenery, and a couple can live comfortably here for about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. A furnished one bedroom starts at about $500 a month. A private doctor's visit at a clinic, about $25. Private health insurance between $40 and $100 a month. English is widely spoken in the coastal areas, and the expat community is growing. So this is a kind of a adventurous choice, but definitely one of the most beautiful areas you can choose. All right, now let's get even further from the US. Let's head to Asia. And Thailand holds the top spot for many reasons. So a comfortable life in Chiang Mai runs about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Private hospitals are internationally accredited and probably some of the best in the world, and they speak English. Dental fillings start at about $30. Root canals under $200. The expat community in Chiang Mai is one of the largest and most established in all of Asia. Here's a 2026 update that you need to hear. Thailand's public healthcare system does not cover foreign retirees. Hospitals charge expats the top tier rate, sometimes 50% more than Thai nationals. And private health insurance is not optional, so it's essential. So you need to budget $400 to $800 per year, not per month, for a healthy retiree in their 60s. Even if you factor that in, Thailand makes a compelling case for somebody looking to retire on Social Security. And you can get a retirement OA visa. It requires proof of $1,750 per month in income or $22,000 in a Thai bank account. So very, very doable for most of us. The next one on the list, Malaysia, and it has one advantage that no other country in Asia has. English is an official language. The cost of living is excellent. A couple can comfortably live for $1,300 to $2,500 a month, kind of depending on your lifestyle. Private hospitals are actually medical tourism destinations from all over the world. International patients fly there for care all the time. Health insurance runs about $100 to $200 a month, and there's no tax on foreign pension income, including Social Security. And number 3, Vietnam. So this is really the pure value champion of this entire list, and I'm actually going there in a couple months. Expats in Da Nang report that their budgets are $1,000 to $1,600 per month. And that includes rent, food, transportation, entertainment, everything. The expat community is growing. English is spoken in expat communities. And there's good private hospitals in the bigger cities. The beaches are outstanding, and the cost of food is cheap. So the limitation with Vietnam is it doesn't have a long-term visa program. And so what everybody has to do is every 90 days you have to make a border run. And this is the standard practice among everybody. It's accepted by the Vietnam immigration. You literally just have to go out and come back in, and you get another 90 days. But there's no way you can beat Vietnam on value, and it's becoming more and more popular. So the biggest lesson from doing all this research, this list is always moving because tax laws change, safety situations change, and visa programs change, and costs change. Because the more popular a place gets, the higher the cost becomes. So that's exactly why staying current with these matters is very important. So if this video gave you real useful information, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.